Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you how to make the bunny from Goodnight Moon out of gum paste. I am doing a classic book for children's theme kind of thing right now, and here is our little bunny, our little unnamed bunny that says goodnight to the moon. We're going to start with his little bunny head and his little bunny body. His head, you could see, is just kind of an oval pinched off at one end. His body is just a big old tube of gum paste that I put through this lollipop stick. I don't know if you saw my Curious George one. I'm going to have others coming out too, some Dr. Seuss stuff. So make sure to stay tuned for that kind of goodies. Anyway, back to our bunny. Once you get the lollipop stick in, trim it short as you saw. And now I'm going to show you how to make the pajamas, his little blue and white striped pajamas. I rolled out the white nice and thin, roll out the blue nice and thin. And the blue, I'm going to start cutting pretty even. I'm just eyeballing it. Size stripes. I'm going to make, I think, like 4 or 5 of them here. And then I'm going to just lay them over the white. It doesn't have to be perfect. The illustrations in Goodnight Moon are not perfect. They're very, casual and soft. So don't worry about perfection here. As long as you have it stripey, it's going to be good. So I trimmed off the extra white because you really don't need a lot of it. Put it to the side, and now I'm going to make his little arms. I rolled out gray nice and thin, and then I'm going to take a slip of the gum paste, and I realized the stripes go kind of around his arms, not down the length of his arms, you see, like I'm wrapping. And the cuff is blue, so I trimmed off the white to make it blue right by his little paw. Just wrap the arm, have the little gray paw stick out, trim it at an angle so you can attach it to his shoulder later, and you got an arm wrapped in his pajamas. Same thing for the other one. Trim it off, make sure the blue cuff is at the end, and put it to the side. Yeah, you should have about 3 stripes. It doesn't have to, but that's what I ended up with. I'm going to show you how to make a leg now. The gray as before, just like his arm. I'm just bending it up so he's got a little foot. I'm going with footy pajamas. He's in his bed the whole time, so you don't really know. But little guys like him tend to wear footies. So you fold it over the foot, trim off the edges at an angle there. You see what I did? And then just start wrapping it around the leg. That way the foot is going to be covered on the bottom as well. And you're not going to have any of the gray sticking out, and it's not going to be too thick. You just pinch it thinner, fold the foot back up, trim it at an angle, and that will just slide right under his body when we're ready for it. Now to wrap his body, take the same stripey gum paste that you had before, and you're going to wrap it up and down his body. You see, it doesn't go horizontally, it goes vertically. Just get a piece that fits, wrap it, and taper it off at the top. Just kind of press it into place, and you got his little body. It doesn't, well, for me, it didn't matter if the gray stuck out in the back, but maybe it will for you, so just be careful. Going back to his head, I'm adding the eyes now. I'm using my veining tool to just kind of give him kind of almond-shaped eyes. He's got very bunny, very undetailed little eyes. They're just black. I'll fill them in later with a little bead of black. Actually, it was a little cylinder of black. I made a little V out of gum paste for his nose. Just press it into place. And now I'm using the veining tool again to just rough up his cheeks because he does have a little bit of fluff on his cheeks. It doesn't really do a very good job of showing it, and I'm just kind of outlining a little bunny mouth. He doesn't have a lot of details, so he's not too hard. I put the legs under his body, as you can see there, the arms just attached at the shoulders, the head right on top of that little piece of lollipop stick we trimmed off. And now I'm going to make the blanket he's holding. When he's in his bed, you can see he's covered up, if you Google pictures of it, by a big green blanket, but there's a red folded blanket at the foot of his bed. And I decided to go with that one. I wanted to have it seem like that's kind of like his little snuggly blanket, like his little lovey. So I have him holding that blanket rather than having him tucked all the way in. He's getting ready for bed in this, in my world. I just folded it up, rolled it out thin, cut a red, wrinkled it up, put it in his arms, made his arms holding the blanket a little bit, and called it good. Now making his ears. You see, I'm starting with a triangle. Take another wedge off. Make sure it's not too long. He's got very nice bunny ears. They're not round or short or anything. They're very bunny-ish. So you can kind of see that shape I made here. I'm using the ball tool there to hollow out the ear a little bit. I'm just making it long and kind of the same size. I'm not following the way his ear goes exactly. And then I'm going to use a little piece of dried spaghetti. Don't use any wheat or anything. It has to be regular old spaghetti. That I'm going to poke his ear into his head with it. Now that the one ear is done, I'm going to do the other one. Trim it out, measure it up, make sure they're similar enough in size that it'll work. Use the ball tool again, hollow it out. And I'm not going to show you, but another piece of dried spaghetti. You got a pair of ears, just stick them in his head there. I added a little bit of water to hold him in place, and then to smooth out the connection, I'm using the very skinny little ball tool I've got there to just kind of rub it into place and make it a little smoother. And you can see also I filled in his eyes with a little bit of black. And there's George in the corner. Hi, George. And there you go. Good night, Bunny. Good night, Moon. Good night, bowl with a spoon, or however it went. It's been too long. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my others. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you very much for watching Caketastic Cakes.